It is time now for the Sweetheart program, brought to you today by Hereford Feed Ingredients.
Our Valentine's sweethearts are Mr. and Mrs. Charlie Isaac, who have been sweethearts now for 59 years. Rebecca Georgette Meso was born in Jerusalem. She was one of 10 children of Carmen and Khalil Meso. Her birthday is December the 29th. There were 5 daughters and 5 sons in the family. She attended Catholic boarding school in Jerusalem. Her ancestors were from Palestine and Lebanon. Her parents, much later, came to the United States to live. Because of the war, in 1952, she and her siblings went to live in Matamoros, Mexico, with her older brother, who was already married and lived there. Georgette was reared in a Middle Eastern culture that was very strict, respectful, and obedient. She helped her brother in his store there in Matamoros, and that is where Charlie Isaac's uncle saw her. That was the beginning of an arranged marriage between Georgette and Charlie. Charlie, on the other hand, was born on July the 25th, 1927, in Homestead, Pennsylvania, to Victor and Helen Isaac. His father was from Palestine and his mother was Polish. When he and his brother Edward were little boys, about 2 or 3 years of age, the family went to visit in the old country their boys' paternal grandparents. The boys stayed there with the grandparents in Jordan because they could not afford to bring all of the family back to the United States at that time. Charlie was 17 when he returned to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. While they were there, a brother and a sister were added to the Isaac family. When they returned to the United States, the boys had to relearn English. Charlie finished school here in the U.S. and served our country in the United States Marine Corps. He first saw Georgette at a wedding. Before they were married, they saw each other only about 6 times, and they were always chaperoned on every occasion. Charlie at the time was Greek Orthodox and Georgette Catholic. Charlie became a Catholic, so they were married in the Catholic Church in Matamoros, Mexico on January the 27th, 1957. Their first home was in Corpus Christi, where they worked for an uncle, and then they moved to Lubbock and worked for Charlie's uncle and lived in a little apartment above the store. Their first child, Cindy, was born in 1958 in Lubbock. Their second child, a daughter, Elizabeth, was born 18 months later. The family members started dry good businesses in surrounding towns, Bovina, Freona, Martin, Littlefield, and lucky for Muleshoe, Georgette and Charlie Isaac, with their 2 little daughters, moved to Muleshoe in 1961, where they opened the Fair Store on Main Street, where it still is today, and they still work faithfully. Because they could not afford to buy much merchandise, they stocked the Fair Store with boots, jeans, hats, and many, many, many empty boxes, so it looked like they had plenty to sell. If someone came in and wanted something they did not have, they were told, come back in a few hours and they would have the item for them. Then they would run to one of the family members' stores in a neighboring town to get that item for the customer. Cindy remembers there were many nights that her parents worked until 10:30 or 11. Their first home in Muleshoe was a little house that they rented from Mrs. Ingram on West 4th Street near the Yellow Jacket School store. 4 of their children were born here in Muleshoe: Christine, Michael, John, and Debbie. All 6 of the Isaac's children graduated from Muleshoe High School and all went on to college. Their 2 sons are both cardiologists. Their children are Cindy Fitzgerald of Highland Village, Texas. She has 4 sons. Elizabeth Isaac lives in Lubbock. Christine Bonatakis of Tampa, and Christine has 7 children. Michael lives in Plano and has 3 daughters. John of Houston has 6 children, and Debbie Bayouth of Lubbock has 4 children. Charlie and Georgette have 16 grandchildren. They are members of the Immaculate Conception Catholic Church in Muleshoe. Charlie likes to hunt and fish and is very social and enjoys his family and friends immensely. Georgette likes to cook and is an excellent cook and keeps a beautiful home. She enjoys her children and grandchildren dearly. The legacy which they have created for their family is one of strength, sacrifice, security, serenity, and unconditional love. What a wonderful caregiver Georgette is, and Charlie a perfect provider. And Hereford Feed Ingredients Incorporated, David and Liz Tips, joins us here at Channel 6 to name you, Georgette and Charlie Isaac, our Valentine's sweethearts. God bless you both and all of your happy family.
The Sweetheart program has been brought to you today by Hereford Feed Ingredients. You can find it on Reach Broadband Channel 6 in our rotation. Also, MuleshoeTV.com on our website. Click on the Sweetheart link at the top of the page. If you'd like to nominate someone to be our sweetheart here on Reach Broadband Channel 6, MuleshoeTV.com. Call 806-272-3990. We need a short biography and a picture.